You know what someone said to me recently? I was at whatever, it doesn't matter where I was. Were you there? Someone told me that goldfish crackers are really bad for your teeth. It's like the worst thing you could eat for kids or adults, whatever. I love goldfish crackers. The pizza ones are my favorite, but the cheddar is classic. You can't mess around with goldfish crackers. I won't listen to it. I won't stand for it. Steve Weiner here from GetRubix.com, and in part 2 of our uh, auto chocolatey update at thing, we're going to finish our remediation script and take a look at how it works when we put it in Intune. Just buy them in bulk, as big as you can. Just goldfish everywhere. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to fix something I found that gave me a weird error when I was writing this out. And that was this guy. If the counter is less than 4, that should be 4 instead of 5. It was just cutting off one of our first apps in the process, so we don't need that. If apps are greater than 0, out of date Choco packages found. Right host, all packages are up to date. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it, and we're good with our detection. Let's talk about how we're going to remediate this. So the one piece that's kind of annoying with remediation is our variables are not going to stick. So what we are going to have to do is we're going to have to go ahead and we're going to have to copy a good amount of that. Okay, so we're going to copy this. We pretty much need to get all the way here, the entire first part, really, because we're still looking for those outdated apps. But at least we'll get a fresh list here. So it's going to be the same thing, right? Where we are checking if Chocolatey is installed. If not, we're installing it, even though if we are running this, it should be there. But just to make sure we don't have that Choco command issue. And then for each app and outdated apps, we're building the apps array of just the name in the string. Definitely, if you didn't see part 1, you're not going to know what's going on, so watch part 1. Okay, now that we've reestablished our variables, we're going to attempt to update each app. So if apps is greater than 0, so if the list of outdated apps is greater than 0, what we can do is open a little bracket there. We'll say for each app in apps, we're going to write host app installed and out of date, attempting to update. Okay, and then what we can do is I'm going to do a try catch block. So try catch. Okay, so we are going to try to Choco upgrade app Y. So it's just like install. You're just doing, that's just the command you're running. You would do Choco install app. To update is just upgrade. And then assuming that's successful, we will write host app successfully, gotta be able to spell, updated to latest version. And then what we'll do for the catch is we will say, pretty much do what we always do. We will say message equals the iteration, write host, error, updating, and then we'll put in the name of the app so it reads very nicely. Message. Okay, and then finally else, we'll just do a write a host all apps up to date, even though that shouldn't be the case. That's kind of the funny thing with remediation. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna head over to Intune. Okay, we'll go to devices, scripts and remediation. you'll go to create. We will go to, I already did this, right? But you'll call it auto update Choco Apps or whatever you want to call it. Really easy though. All we have to do is select our detect script and our remediation. So in detect, I'm going to click there. Detect. And what's nice about this versus normal PowerShell in Windows, it lets you actually see the content to make sure you got it right. So it's pretty good. And then same thing with remediation. Oh, I don't think I saved it. File, save all. Yeah, that's why it didn't show up. So if that happens, it's actually good if it means you didn't save. Yeah, now I got the content in there. We're going to leave this running a system, so it'll be no for enforcing the signature check. And then, yes, we want it to run in 64-bit PowerShell. And that's it. And then you'll assign it to, in my case, I picked my M365 device group since that's all my enrolled Windows PCs. Now, I already had it here before. Update Chocolatey Apps is what I called it. So you can see we got some quick reporting. This reporting actually lags a little bit. If I click on device status, it's going to give me the actual report. And this looks great because you're really testing for two things. You're making sure the detection works, but you're also making sure the remediation works. So in this case, I had 4 devices that didn't have issues. They were all up to date. And then this device up here, I'm going to assume had out-of-date apps, but we fixed it. So how do we tell what exactly happened? So you can go to columns here, and if you find an error, you can turn on the errors. That'll actually help you troubleshoot. But in this case, I just want to turn on the output to actually see what happened. So you can see in this case, the issue was out-of-date Choco packages found. And then it ran the remediation, and we see the all Choco packages are up to date, okay, as our output, which is really cool. So it ran again. Now, what else do we have? So, we're not going to essentially see what was updated. We could, if you look at the ones that didn't have issues, they started off by saying all Choco packages are up to date. So it's working really well, and I can have this run. I have it running, you can have it once a day, you can have it once a week. So now you don't have to worry, right? You can just see what's being updated. So I suppose if we wanted to just go back for the apps here, if I go back to detect, what I can do is I could actually insert the variable in here, out of date Choco packages found, and then I can just print out apps. Yeah, so by adding this, it'll print out all the list of applications that were out of date, so that I can compare them. I can see, so if it listed Firefox, Adobe Reader, Notepad++, I'll see that they were out of date, and then in the end, when it rechecks, I'm still going to get the all Choco packages are up to date, but I'll know which ones. I would say if you want to do something more on a per app basis, you would just have it look for Adobe Reader, just have it look for Notepad++, and then you would have separate remediation policies per each app, if that's what you wanted to do. But other than that, I think we're in good shape. All right, that was pretty painless. We're able to finish our remediation script, take that and the detection one, post them to Intune. We got to see some devices actually get remediated, both that started without issues and they were fine, and then a device that had issues. So it was cool to kind of see that. And I'd be really interested to know where you take this, if you go the per app route or you leave it the way it is. So let us know in the Discord. Again, we cracked 100 members this week, so really excited about that. If you're not there, stop on in, say hello, feel free to talk and troubleshoot with folks. It's a good time in there. We got one more cool thing to show you this week with Chocolatey, and that'll be coming up next, so stay tuned.
1, 2